Hey Don, welcome in. Mama D, welcome in. Mama of Six, welcome in. Ooh, I see a Janet flight up. Tonight's just going to be, this side stream right here is just going to be a chill chat, question and answer, feedback, all that fun stuff. So welcome in. Just winding down for the evening. Hope everyone's having a fantastic evening. Right now, we're listening to 11175 in the background. And seeing what's in the sky. There was some interesting aircraft. You know, I have this on members only. I think I screwed up. Let's go to subscriber only. My bad. One second. I think I messed up. Participate. Any subscriber, members, who can send messages. I think I made it so only people that are members can view it. So give me just a second. I'm going to try to update that. This is a feature I don't use very often, so I clicked on the wrong one. Kenzoy, welcome in. Donovan, welcome in. John, welcome in. Hey, you got a notification. Perfect. I'm also turning off ads if I can for this stream, just so we can chat. I think I have it open to everyone. I'm not sure. On your way in, if you could like the stream, give it a thumbs up on your way in. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, I think we're back to normal on that part. Perfect. Let me tell the other channel, not other channel, our other stream that we're live over here. Give me 1 second. Hey, thank you so much. Lucy Goosey, welcome in. Lucy Goosey says, "We on the way in." Did you fall and trip on the way in here? Thanks for joining. I believe it was Lamb and Tim said we had some interesting aircraft over in the Persian Gulf area this evening. So, scanning over here, taking a look, and that this isn't going to be just a tracking stream tonight. We're going to go over some questions, chill, chat, all that stuff tonight. We do have a tanker in the area just off the coast of Iran here. We have a Q4 drone, call sign Overlord 01. We got a C-130 over the UAE. Oh, right in front of Overlord. Oh, we got a P-180. Oh, look at that. Overlord has moved. It looks like it's scanning this whole area right here. Let's cruise over the United States. We'll give a few more minutes to let everyone get notified and hop on in. Figure toot. I always lurk, but I watch a lot. Hey, thank you. We love our lurkers here too, but don't be afraid. Some people like to lurk, and that's totally okay. But we have a really awesome community. If you do decide to engage in chat, either way, we love having you here. Thank you so much. Hogged out. Good to see you. Mama of 6. I lurk at times too. Hey, during the day, most often I'm lurking myself. I'm lurking and working. I usually have Warwatch up on a second or third monitor. I have some of my headphones in, and I'm working and listening to EAMs and ATC traffic, and when I can, I chat back. Was wondering if you're around service member. If I'm a service member, if that's the question, no. I have never had that honor. I've never served in the military. But we do thank everyone that has. We have lots of service members here. I am not one of them. John, I like to watch and listen. Hey, me too. Watching, I'm usually on my other account, Pamela Swan. Love the Skyglass view. Hey, me too. Skyglass is very powerful. Sometimes it gets a little cluttered when I have everything on. I can just sometimes I like to take off the call signs and just have the aircraft type. Like if we do that, that makes it a little bit easier sometimes. But the call signs are fun too. Right now I'm filtering out towers, complete NAs, some of the trainer aircraft. Over the United States right now, we have 11 Apaches up. Maybe getting some time in or certifications or training. Not sure what's going on with that, but yeah, 11 H-64s up. We have 9 Ospreys currently up. Fun stuff happening over here west of San Diego. This Apache right here has an awesome call sign of Hater61. Again, in the background, we are listening to 11175 on this radio on the mainstream. The 24/7 stream, we're listening to 4 different frequencies, but right now I can flip through. If I think something's coming in, we can flip around, but right now I am listening to 11175 in the background. I saw some U.S. jets entered Venezuela. They got really close. Those were the F-18, the Hornets, right? There was 2, 3, or 2 or 4 up. I forgot. Sky Glass is so pretty. Yeah, I think so too. All right. Tonight I just kind of want to go over, since this is a community channel, I like to talk about, I like to ask questions from time to time, probably quarterly. Probably not enough. Just ask general questions of the community, because we're here to serve you. I'm here to serve you. If this was just me hanging out on YouTube by myself, this would be pretty boring. So I want to make sure we're going in the path for the majority of the community. So before we get into that tonight, does anybody have questions? And then from questions, we'll get into ideas. We'll see where the night takes us. From ideas, we'll get into feedback. What are some things on the channel we're doing that we could do better? We're just going to see where the night goes. While we're doing that, we'll chill, chat, talk about whatever. But I guess my first question, Hogged Out says, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much, Hogged. I'm going to try something real quick. Maybe. I don't think I've hardly ever used this button. I'm going to turn chat off for a second. I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, we'll hopefully get right back out of it. I'm going to start a Q&A stream chat. So my question, again, do you have any questions about what we do at Warwatch, or anything? Actually, though, I'm just going to put, do you have any questions? Just don't ask me how magnets work. I have no idea. All right, so that should possibly have changed up chat. I'm not sure. I think the only questions that come in now are questions, maybe. Question mark. I don't even know. This is new to me. Let's start here. Hogged says, welcome to all the new subscribers and lurkers. Thanks, Hogged. Mama of 6, here's a question. Do you think we will strike Venezuela? I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger so I go over this little red line here. Here's the weird thing. I don't know why we would put so much resources down in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, Gulf of McDonald's, whatever you want to call it, this big body of water. I don't know why we would put so much resources down here in the Caribbean, rather, not Gulf of Mexico, sorry, to not take any action. Yeah, it could be a big press, could be a big, let's get rid of this NA flight. We have a lot of resources down there. That costs a lot of money. That's a lot of troops and intel and recon and people you have to take care of to not do something. I have some quotes and stuff to say about like stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out like the most family friendly ones. The best one I can come up with off the cuff is I play hockey. I don't get my gear on unless I'm going to go play hockey, unless I'm going to get on the ice. I don't just put on my gear and walk around the room or go down to the ice rink and not go play hockey. We don't usually amass this many troops. I mean, some trainings are very large, right? Some exercises are very large, but we don't usually put this many troops out there. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Unless we're ready to put boots to butts. I don't know. My brain says yes. My heart says no. I don't. This is a weird one. Soul says, I think I've been subscribed for a while. Hey, thank you. Welcome in. Loosey Goosey 69. What got you into military aircraft, radio, etc.? How long have you been at it? Let's see. I have relatives that are and have been in the military. When I was little, going way back, when I was in like second, third, fourth grade, I was using my dad's shortwave radio, and I would spend some evenings when I could, and I'd probably stay up a little too late. It was battery powered, so I could hide under my covers, put headphones in when I was supposed to be sleeping, and I would scan the airwaves. So that's probably how all of this got started. And I would find really weird frequencies and all that fun stuff. And that's what got me started with radio. A long time ago, submarines and aircraft. My dad took me to a air show where I saw my first B-2 bomber. And I was hooked. Then I saw like an F-4 Phantom, and then I saw a whole bunch of amazing aircraft when I was really young. Got me into those, and yeah, just been a fan ever since. Then I watched Hunt for the Red October. That got me into submarines, and all of this has just kind of carried on. But anyways, long story short, I got into radio and this stuff when I was really, really young, but I'm learning every single day, and I'm learning from a lot of you. Great question, Lucy. Who really knows has a question. Anything happened with the jet that went supersonic near the East Coast? You know what? I don't know much about that one. I didn't hear that. I might be learning that from you guys. I don't know of a jet that went supersonic. Was that today? My son just got off the ice playing hockey, and I just got home. So I might be a little bit behind if that happened. Also, today while I was working and lurking, it was pretty busy. So I might be behind the ball on that one too. Hey, Kenzoe, welcome in. Got your test? 10:30 Eastern today. I'm going to mark that down, and I'm going to look into that. Thank you. That's a great question. All right. John says it may be the weekend when the stock market is closed. When we go into Venezuela, that's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Could be. Very well could be. This whole thing is very different. Michael Hicks says, seems we're fronting but not pulling the trigger. Yeah, it's weird. Lucy Goosey says, but what if the prize for making the other team think that you'll win so much that they forfeit and the prize is all the oil in Venezuela? Swiller was the one that told me their oil is a little bit different than what we use for cars. I didn't know up until 2 weeks ago that there was different kinds of oil, like sweet and all that stuff. But I guess oil companies do love oil, and if that's the reason, we would take their oil and do whatever we need to make it usable for our stuff. So Zesty watching the water, like Don said long ago, he was telling his plans, controlling the flow of import export on the sea highway of his own investments. I'm not sure. Military is burnt out waiting for orders. Sleep difficult too. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see Venezuela. We're burning out their troops. I mean, we have so many people there, and people are tense in Venezuela. So if we are trying to like wear them down emotionally, mentally, physically, you have to have people on higher alert or high alert, having the U.S. right on your doorstep. We're showing planes on ADS-B, bombers coming down, F-18s, showing like a show of force. Because most of the time when these aircraft, actually I would say almost 100% of the time when these aircraft are coming in to do anything legit as like a targeting ops or anything like that, we're not going to see them here on flight radar. So, or whatever tracking app that you're using. So yeah, the fact that we can see them while this is happening, while they're so close to their target area or area of responsibility or area of operations, means it's kind of just a flex, in my opinion. Timothy Clark became a recon member. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for the support, and thanks for being here. All right, moving on. Do we have any questions about Warwatch before we move forward to our next topic? Anything that we do here, EAMs, flights, channel. And then from here, we'll move on to maybe what you would like to see or what we could do differently and stuff like that. So again, I like to do this quarterly, at least. I like to see what the vibe is on the channel. I don't just come up here, make content, run the live stream, and never ask for feedback. It's not just the Frost Show. I want to make sure that this channel is something that almost everyone has input into, right? At least the people that spend time here and contribute can have a say of what happens here. And I think that's how communities are upkept and built and stay strong. So I might have to change. Okay. I'm going to do one more QA here. Do you have any questions about Warwatch channel or what we do here? And these questions can be about Discord. They can be about the website, X, all over different various platforms, tracking apps, radios, equipment, like you name it. If you've had questions, now's a good time to ask. And if you don't too, that's fine. After this, we're going to go into what are some things and ideas that you have to improve the channel after this one. Meanwhile, we're going to look at some aircraft. We have an NA flight coming back over the Atlantic. We got some P8s, a K35R. Some more P8s. Oh, that was weird. Somehow I got into call sign mode and not... That's weird. We'll let this question hang out for just a little bit. Let's take a look at what the tankers are doing for just a second. We do have 2 tankers heading south in Texas. Let's keep an eye on those guys and see if they follow the border. No P8s or anything like that with them that we can see. John, welcome to Warwatch. Let's see here. Oh, my chat got stuck. Hold on one second. I think I've been missing quite a few as I've been here tracking aircraft. 1 second. So let's back up a little bit and answer some of these questions. Do you believe the military stance has been vulnerable? Should we be positioned stronger in any more important locations? Personally, this one can get very political. I do think that us having a weaker stance in NATO / Europe / Ukraine potentially could come back and bite us. However, on the other side of that, I do believe personally that NATO needs to help out with that bill as they are ramping up to do, and then also have a lot more troops and kind of help themselves a little bit more. The U.S. doesn't need to do 100% of that or like 95% of that, right? I think personally, like Germany's recruiting a lot more. They're ramping up numbers. Their defense budgets are ramping up. So I think we're on the right track for that. But it feels like we are not backing out of NATO per se, but like that. And there's so much stuff going on with Ukraine. It's hard to like push through it or cipher through it. There's a whole lot of misinfo, disinfo around the political figures in Ukraine. So a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth from Ukraine, but it's hard to see personally Putin as the aggressor potentially have a way forward to regain land in Ukraine and resources, and the U.S. as the superpower kind of allowing that. I don't know. I'm not trying to get political about it. It's just weird to see. Great question. Timothy Clark, thank you. Love your content. Really love this new look. Hey, thank you so much. And welcome in. Diego, welcome to Warwatch. Again, my chat got frozen for a second, so I'm trying to catch back up. Hogged Out, I love the direction, sir. Seems to be on the right path. Hey, thanks, Hogged Out. You've been doing an awesome job here at Warwatch as well. So thank you so much, Hogged. Mama of 6, will the EAMs go silent if and when we strike Venezuela? That's a very good question. When I feel like I have that figured out, I'm wrong every single time. Sometimes we see things happening in Ukraine or happening in Israel, and the EAMs go up. And when you think things are about to get crazy and EAMs should be going up, everything gets quiet. And it's still a theory if more actions and military actions have more EAMs and FDMs, force. But we can't say 100% for sure. We don't get to read these messages or decode them. They're not meant for us. So we will probably never know. It's fun to hypothesize or to look into it and have fun with it, but it's hard to really know. And I think that's half the fun. What are these tankers doing? Okay. Flavors of the Forest Garlic. Hey, this channel is awesome. Hey, you're awesome. Michael Hicks. The news feeds are kind of confusing. Can't tell what's new or old. Is it just me? Hey, which news feeds are we talking about? I can definitely help out, or I like that feedback, and I'd like to make it better. So tell me exactly which news feeds we're talking about. Are we talking about on X or on the live stream specifically, or the ticker on the bottom? I would love to. So let me know, Michael Hicks. I would love to make that better. So Mama of 6. Another thing I've noticed about EAMs, sometimes before something happens, things get really quiet. Just an observation. There's no hard science behind that. Just a gut feeling. Ken Zoe, wouldn't hurt to hear your description of the channel's program. What do you mean by that? I'm trying to figure that out. It's late. It's not late, but my brain's tired from the day. Help me understand that one, because I would definitely love to help that out or make that better. Hogged Out 82. I don't think there'll be a media blackout during the attack. We will know when it starts. So interesting enough, especially of the United States, we see a lot of not fighters, but we see a lot of bombers go up. And this is where the open source intelligence stuff kicks in. This isn't always like this, but we'll see, like the night of the attacks in Iran against their nuclear enrichment facilities, we saw some tankers doing some interesting things that night. We didn't see any bombers take off or anything like that. But we did see some interesting things, which kind of told a lot of us, hey, something's going to happen, or at least like stay extra alert. So sometimes you might see a tanker or a formation of tankers go one way and then go dark, stuff like that. We've seen recently the the B-52 bombers heading south, where one will turn a certain direction, one will go dark, and we won't see it again for like 3 or 4 hours when they're down like just off the coast of Venezuela. So we don't get to see them fly all the way down there. And sometimes other flights might be a distraction. But yeah, it's very interesting to see. And that's why, for the most part, most of us are watching as much as we can, because it's all kind of like pieces to the puzzle for us. Swiss, thank you for your channel. New here. Really enjoy it. Hey, thanks for being here. Do you think any strikes will happen before Christmas? Possibly. The military in Southcom, so this whole area of operations here, has had Thanksgiving and Christmas leave revoked or temporarily taken away. So again, that's a tough one. This whole situation is different. It hasn't been publicly explained that well, I guess, from anyone. There's a lot of pressuring from Maduro to stand down or to step down or get out of the country. And maybe this is just the leverage for that, so this can happen peacefully. Not sure. John, your channel is a daily, if not hourly, stop. I come here first whenever something goes down. Hey, thank you so much, John. Appreciate it. Love to have you. I am slowly catching up on things here. Michael Hicks, we didn't help Japan today when China locked onto their aircraft. Yeah, I need to look more into that. That was definitely interesting. That's another area that I don't watch enough, and I need to start watching more, is the Indo-Pacific. There's a lot going on there right now. We have a strike group and quite a few ships heading to the Indo-Pacific right now, being relocated. Lamb, plus we're putting Putin back into the G8 and drop sanctions. What's with that? I'm not sure. John, $5 super chat. Thank you everyone for all the participation and keeping this channel going. Hey, thank you so much, and thank you for your participation, and thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. And thanks for being here. Swiller, what's up? I am really behind on chat. I'm trying to pick it up here. Oh, what you cover on the channel. You're right. I don't think it's... We used to have it like on the live stream that we do, like military aircraft tracking, military radios, emergency action messages kind of stuff, breaking news and alerts. I'm going to write that down. So as we're doing this feedback, ideas, stuff like that, I'm going to write down. I'm just going to make that easier for me to understand. Make it easier for people to understand what is it we're doing here. That's what I don't want. I don't want somebody come into the channel and be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on here. What's all this waterfall stuff on the screen? Why are these airplanes flying around? Why am I hearing weird messages on the radio? Who's talking? That's a really good feedback. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And we tried to pride ourselves on being as in chat, not like descriptions of channels and stuff like that. being very newbie friendly. So if you have no idea what's on the screen, that's totally fine. We're open to questions and stuff like that, which some other channels are not, and that's okay. We like to start at the ground floor where anybody can join in and say, hey, what's going on here? And we can help them out. But I love the feedback of right away explaining so nobody has to ask, like, what is it we're doing here? Zesty says YouTube news is sometimes restricted and the algorithms try very hard to avoid sharing real information unless it's paid for outright. Journalists online are not always factual. Thank you so much. N36198 on the 24-hour stream. It just has the time and news update. I think on the ticker. Not sure how recent it is. I've seen some of the news on there that was old, but appears newer since the timestamp is closed. I think I know what you're talking about, and I've seen that from time to time. The system spits out really old news, and sometimes even Velma reads off really old news. So I'm going to write that down too. I keep on forgetting about that. So let's make sure news ticker is from the current day. Perfect. The news ticker and Velma voice is from the current day. Good. That was great feedback. Thank you so much. Hogged Out 82. This whole situation confuses me. Same, brother. Our president said to Politico, his days are numbered. Yep. Freddie saw one report of Russians to pilot Venezuela jets. Do you have that intel? I don't. That's actually the first time I've heard of that. I'm going to write that down as something to look into. Russia piloting Venezuelan aircraft. I do know Russia has had some aircraft into Venezuela. We were wondering if that was equipment or getting VIPs out, but who knows? Maybe they're dropping off advisors. Hogged Out says dinner sounds awesome, Swiller. Swiller, what are you having for dinner tonight? Okay, Zesty has channel, mission, and niche. You know what? That's a good idea. Channel, mission, and niche. And I know we've been around on YouTube for more than a year, and that's something I've been struggling with, and that's why I do streams like this is, what do we see as our niche as? Do you have commercial aircraft scanners on along with the EAMs? Yes, from time to time we listen to commercial traffic, mostly in areas that have high military traffic. Like earlier, we were listening to the ZMA sector of Miami, Florida, and we were hearing some interesting call signs, possibly military. We heard Black Cat 5, Black Cat 3, which Black Cats, we were talking about that in the channel, are sometimes drones. So are those drones communicating their traffic pattern to Miami ATC in the ZMA sector? Unsure. Up in Andrews the other day, we heard a Marine One style flight. We've heard Air Force One there before. So hopefully I'm answering your question correctly. But yeah, sometimes we do listen to civilian ATC, air traffic control. From time to time, I don't pipe it into the channel, but I listen to air traffic in my area. And then sometimes on 11175, actually a lot more recently, 11175 here has had a lot of air traffic, and especially a lot of E6s checking in and out of the net as well. So hopefully I'm answering your question. If I'm not, let me know. 18 Space Ghost, or sorry, 1S Space Ghost. Been around for a while. What is your background and why did you start this channel? Man. What is my background? My background is in unrelated things. I do things kind of related. I do a lot with radio, maintaining radio equipment for people, making sure that those services are working. And then I do a lot of production. I've worked for, I won't say their names here, but very large broadcast groups that 3-letter broadcast groups that I've taken care of live streams, live sports, making sure that their equipment's working, that their broadcasters can broadcast from anything from news, like I said, to sports, to whatever, or websites, security, digital stuff. You name it. I'm kind of a do-it-all digital production guy. I've worked with podcasters. I've worked with sound crew. I've worked with people here on YouTube. And then why did I start the channel? The channel, I kind of put all the stuff that I'm interested in, not all of it. I've tried a whole bunch of it. Tracking aircraft, radios, military stuff. I've always been interested in news, breaking news. And I feel like personally, again, maybe it's my ADD brain or something. I see things that are happening in the news that I feel have to do with other things that are happening on the planet, and my brain puts them together. Whether they're either if they're right or wrong, I'm not sure. But I see things possibly in a different way. I think I see things as a lot of you guys do, guys and gals, that kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together that seem unrelated, but for people like us might be more related. Have a lot of hobbies and things I'm interested in. Like I said, aircraft, Navy ships, military stuff going on around the planet, radio stuff, radios, comms. I like the mystery of a lot of this too. A lot of this, we don't get to see the full picture, so we have to fill in the blanks, especially with the HFGCS and the EAMs. That is a big mystery, and I love the puzzle. Even knowing that's not a puzzle I'll ever figure out. So long story short, I wanted a place to enjoy these hobbies with other people out there and people to chat with about all of this stuff and see if anyone else is putting these pieces of the puzzle together. And I couldn't find a great place on YouTube. I'm not dissing anyone, but I couldn't find a great place on YouTube that was fun, inviting, reputable, knowledgeable, that was putting this stuff together. I like I said, airplanes, guns, prepping, survival stuff, solar panels, radios. It all kinds of goes hand in hand, and keeping up with the breaking news and intel and spycraft and codes. It's all fun, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy, like I said, spending this time with you guys. Sorry, that was a longer answer than it probably should have been. Swiller's having beef red sauce with angel hair pasta and Caesar salad. That sounds delicious, Swiller. Jeremy Olson made some chicken fried rice and orange chicken. That also sounds delicious. I had that very same thing for lunch today. Niche is Warwatch. Thank you, Hogged. Loosey Goosey, I saw a Q4 in the Gulf near Florida earlier. Maybe it was one of those black hats. Maybe. That is very interesting. So if anybody here is new or doesn't know, we do something very unique here on the 24/7 stream. Not this stream that we're on right now, but the 24/7 stream. You can actually type in commands that I have not documented very well. They are on the website. Only a few people know right now as we're getting it set up, even into our 1 year mark, where you can spot aircraft, record the first 6 characters of an EAM, or do all these things, and they put them in the database and shares it with all of our Discord members and does a whole bunch of fun stuff with it. So if you didn't know anything about that, or if you have questions about that, tonight's a great night to ask questions about any of that. We wouldn't be open source unless we shared what we've found. So we try to stay as open source as we can. Change of subject, Jeremy. The axial seamount has become very active and has a rising, putting pressure on the Gorda plate. See, I find earthquakes fascinating, but I know hardly anything more than your average person. So I am very entertained and intrigued by all the earthquake stuff going on, and I love learning that from you guys and gals. Earthquakes are super interesting. Brainstorm, welcome in. Great to see you, Brain. Exactly. We'll fill in the blanks, brainstorm with others. Exactly. And enjoy learning as we go. I agree. Me too. I'm not someone that comes up here on a channel or this channel and pretends to know everything and I'm the expert. I just want to make a place where we can come and enjoy this together, and we learn from the people that do know things, and we share that information as a community. I might not know the best things to keep for canned food for prepping. I might ask questions. I don't know how to can. I'm going to ask somebody else how to do that. I might know something about radio that could help somebody else out with. Swiller is always answering questions about flights for me. So we're just one big knowledge base. We might be good solo, but together as a whole, we're great. Okay, Flavors Forest. I live in Oregon. The Seamount is directly west of me. Okay, so I used to live outside of Portland, Oregon, and I lived there for about 3 or 4 years. And that's one thing I remember listening to and hearing about and chatting about even back then was how the Pacific Northwest, the subduction zone, Cascadia subduction zone, is that correct? When that goes, could be very violent. And they said that actually has a potential for a larger earthquake in the scale of things, like was that the Richter scale, than even the California fault line. That I'm not sure. These aren't facts. These are just things I remember hearing. But when I lived up there, that whole area, that's always something I kind of kept in the back of my mind, even though I don't live there anymore. But I do go back and visit the coast, and that's something I'm always mindful of and humbled by, is the size of like the Mount Hood. And then one thing we always forget about is, what is the volcano up in Washington that is still active but kind of asleep right now? And again, this is not my area of expertise at all. But there's an active volcano in Washington that's kind of not due per se, but people should keep an eye on. And sometimes in their backyard. I am 30 miles from the ocean. That's fantastic. Again, once a year, I try to go out or take the family out to the coast, to Seaside, to Astoria, to Newport, all the great places. Actually, we were just out there back in the end of July, I think. I do a lot of canning and freeze drying. That's amazing. I'd like to learn more about canning pretty soon. Jeremy also, the volcanic vents temperatures have been measured around 300 Fahrenheit. Is that bad? Is that rising? Again, this is not something I know a lot about. Redwoods coast of northern Cali, just south of Oregon border. That's a beautiful area. Michael Hicks, I hope we can keep politics out of it. Another channel I watch does a lot of political bashing and had to stop watching. So we try to stay pretty political neutral here. Sometimes we give a little nudge of a stance. But having said that, I don't always, and this will make some people upset, and that's okay. I don't back anyone politically, especially when it comes to the channel, just because of their right or their left or their up or down or whatever. If they're Democrat, Republican, just because they might be a certain party or affiliated, I'm not going to take their word for it. I'm very personally think we're in a very bad spot with everyone, and I think everyone should be held accountable politically. So right now, it's very easy for me to stay out of it and just to focus on the facts. So you found your great place here, because again, we don't march to anybody's drum. We're here for the intel, the news, and the facts. And we also do our best to not overplay the doom part of it. The stuff is scary enough on its own. We will just sit here and tell you how it is, which sometimes, like I said, might be scary enough. You don't have to drum up or make this part scarier than it is. J-Pass, welcome in. Great to see you. Jeremy Olson, the ocean's only about 5 miles away from me. I am very jealous because I miss the ocean. I love being next to the water. I very much miss that, being in the middle of Wyoming, in the middle of nowhere. I don't, like I said, I only get to see the ocean maybe once a year. Flavors says lots of volcanoes in Washington and Oregon. Swiller says facts, not fear. Exactly, my friend. And sometimes that should be facts, not feelings, right? Chris Tucker, thank you for everything you guys do. Finally back to my Myrtle Beach after a couple of months in Jamaica. And you were the only news source. Well, I appreciate that so much. So to tag off of that, I'm going to change. I appreciate everyone hanging out here tonight. This is a different stream than we normally do, and maybe we should do more of these. I'm really enjoying tonight. I'm going to put up the next question. Start a Q&A. What are your thoughts, ideas, feedback of things we could do or change? Okay, so moving on. Tell me, what are some of your ideas that we could do here at War Watch? Unless it's too crazy, like, what are some of the actual real things we could do here at War Watch that you would like to see? Ship tracking or cameras, or what are some things we're not doing that you would like to see? Or what are some things that are not, like we talked about earlier? What are some things that are not described very well that you would like to see? What are some live topics that you would like covered that we don't do? Or what are some things that we do that you dislike or you think we could do differently? I am personally, as long as the feedback is not to hurt, I am very comfortable and open to feedback. Just so you're aware. I like giving feedback to people that I care about, and I try to do it constructively so it's not out to like hurt somebody. But I value feedback, especially in the professional setting, quite a lot. When someone gives me feedback, in my head, I'm like, wow, these are people, or this is someone that cares about what I do or what we do. And I take that feedback very seriously. So, and thank you for anyone that has. Swiller, poker night. I'm writing that one down right now because I miss poker night. I'm not great at it, but I enjoy the heck out of it. So that kind of, while we're talking about this and thinking about it and coming up with things to talk about, or sorry, for feedback or changes, one of my questions to me, my mods, my crew, all of you, do we miss being on Discord? Recently, we've been looking into using some kind of like walkie-talkie app that are on everyone's phones or computers to chat with back and forth, like spotting aircraft and stuff by voice. Is that dumb? Is that good? Should we just use Discord? Do we want to talk more in Discord and have voice conversations there and hang out? Besides poker, obviously we're going to play poker on Discord. That was so much fun. It's free, by the way. We're not actually wagering any real money. In case you're listening, YouTube has a very anti-gambling policy, which I understand because they had a lot of minors here and stuff. So we're not gambling for real money. We're playing video games on Discord and poker. Flavors Forest, I would like to sponsor a garlic giveaway for the channel if you want. I'll write that down. Thank you, Flavors. Writing that one down. Ship tracking edition. I'm going to write that one down as well. Ship tracking. We used to do that. I had a hard time finding a reliable source that was showing anything interesting. Ships track very differently than aircraft do, especially military ones. They only turn on sometimes when they're going through a canal or checking into a port. Then you won't see them for quite some time. And that's also one area I don't know much about. So that's something I could learn from some of you, especially. Michael says military ship tracking would be cool. I'm going to put that down ×2. Thank you. John says Jeremy, was awesome to watch. It looked like a nuclear bomb. I've seen stuff from Mount St. Helens. That's crazy. My family said here in Wyoming, when Mount St. Helens went off, there was some ash and stuff on the ground, I believe. AUX WBL says, my only critique is less of a robotic lady voice would be nice. It gets quiet and scares me. I'm going to put that down. Less robotic voice on the channel. Sometimes, so when I hook up my phone to my car, when I get in, it automatically connects to my phone, which is playing Warwatch most of the time. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes when ATC isn't talking and Velma starts talking on there, our bot, it has startled me too. So I'm with you there. Thank you for the comment. Mama of 6, I love Velma. Thank you so much, Mama of 6. Oh, sorry, the news updates. Let's see here. So, honest question. See if we can do it without making a poll question. The walkie-talkie apps that you can turn off and on when you're like at work or not available or with family or something like that, or you could jump into, does that serve any purpose? Is it worth looking into? Just put a Y or an N in chat, yes or no, whatever you want. We'll try not to do a poll question for this one. I'm just kind of interested in what people think. What got me started on that whole idea was seeing these nationwide physical walkie-talkies that were interesting. I don't think they're good for disaster scenarios per se, but neither are cell phones. But I'm looking for a way that here at Warwatch, maybe it is Discord. Maybe we just stick with Discord only. But I'm looking for a way that we can all communicate on the channel. Off the channel as well. But I'm not trying to detract from the channel. I'm not trying to take traffic away from it, obviously. But I would like to Warwatch to be able to people to communicate other than just the channel. You know, I want to be more than just the channel. We've been messing with an app. Was it Zello? Where we can make channels on there where only certain people can talk, and then we can make channels on there where everyone can talk. So maybe in the best world, we can have like 2 channels. One where trusted users can get on there and spot aircraft, talk about and voice news things. In a perfect world, from time to time when I'm here live, we could pipe that into the channel or something. I don't know. Or maybe we could just have sessions on there where we're talking in there. Or when an actual event happens, say we do strike Venezuela, we're talking in chat here, but some trusted members on the channel, like most of you, we're giving out live updates via the walkie-talkie app. I don't know. These are just crazy ideas I have. I have too many crazy ideas. Someday I'll have to rein it in, but right now that's what is going through my brain. We got some yeses, can't hurt to try. I love that. I love trying new things. Doesn't always work out, but I do love trying new things and ideas. And I appreciate everyone here kind of testing all the waters with me. We've gotten so good with all of this that we're doing. From trial and error, really. Hogged says Discord comes right after YouTube for me, then X. So for the people that are, this is another question. For the people that might not know or are new here, when you share that intel through the log system on the channel, it automatically puts it to our Discord and to our X accounts. Is that useful for anybody? If it is, let me know in chat. I'm just wondering, that was just a random idea that we've been doing for a little while. I'm not sure if that's useful for anyone. If it is, let me know. If knowing when an EAM or headers are coming in via X or Discord, going to those channels are helpful. It doesn't hurt. It's not any extra work. I was just wondering. Again, thank you for everyone's feedback and hanging out tonight. This is really great. Martin, yes, for me. Excellent. I'm glad we're helping someone out. I like Telegram too. Oh, I forgot. We are pushing our stuff out on Telegram. Mama of Six, just in case you are not one of our subscribers over on Telegram, we have two different channels. One is for news only, and one is for the intel stuff, like headers and spotting aircraft and stuff like that. We have Telegram channels. You probably already know about it. You're probably subscribed. But just in case, I don't want anyone to feel left out. We do push that stuff over to Telegram. That's about all we do with Telegram right now, but I really enjoy Telegram, how quick and easy it is to get updates from stuff. I follow some telegrams from hot locations like Ukraine, Russia, Venezuelan stuff. I need to translate quite often, but sometimes I get my intel straight from what's going on from people over there. Very interesting times we're living in that we can do that. App communication would be great. Timothy Clark, please, I think I know what you mean by that, but tell me what you exactly mean, because I'd like to write it down. Help me with that one, please. The Swiller, like, share, subscribe. Swiller, you are the king when it comes to that. Thank you so much. Swiller is reminding me that people should take one moment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we have still so many people that are not subscribed but are here almost every single day. Subscribing is free, so we'd love to have you. And please thumbs up the channel. And give a shout out to Swiller. Thank you so much. You always remind me that. I am awful at saying that and remembering to say that. So thank you so much, Swiller. You are the king of that. And Swiller says the hat is available for purchase on the merch shop. I can't believe I've kept this one so clean, actually. I've had this one, I don't know, 8 months. Kenny Freeman, actual physical observation is priceless, and all the talking heads are lying for their own agendas. Organic communication sounds cool. I love that. I'm not putting anyone down when it comes to mainstream media or other people, content creators and stuff like that. Some people make money. Some people get views and clicks based off the doom they share, or they're trying to get you to buy a product or buy a certain thing. To each their own. I watch some of those people. Yeah, it's entertaining, but what I'm looking for again is what you're talking about, the organic conversations of this is what I think, or this is what you think is going to happen in Venezuela, or hey, I just saw 2 aircraft over the skies, or hey, in my store there is no soup or rice to be found. Like hearing those actual conversations that happened all day, every day here are very helpful and interesting to me. This human int or human intelligence is one of my favorite aspects of what we do here. So great comment. Swiller put a chat at the bottom. I think that's Swiller's Intel Stack channel. Please subscribe over there. He has a great thing going on. I think that's what you're getting at, Swiller. Let me know. Timothy Clark says a forum such as Zello or something similar would be interesting concept for the program for faster communication between members. I agree. It took me a long time to learn Discord to not just use it, but to create it and manage it, moderate it, and stuff like that. Discord took me longer than it should have. I really like Discord. I think it has a lot of purposes. But again, for that instant communication you can't always be hanging out in a channel and just lurking on Discord, I feel. Like a voice channel. That's where the walkie-talkie app, Zello, or something like it, sounds really interesting, of someone shouting out alerts, shouting out intel, and then another one for people just to talk about whatever in more of an open radio, I don't know, like, how do I say that? More like CB radio, like what Swiller said the other night. People getting on there and just shooting the breeze back and forth on one channel, and maybe the other one's a more important channel. Like I said, spotting aircraft, doing news, and talking by voice for the people that want to. And we'll see how that goes. I don't see any harm in it. If it doesn't work out, no one uses it, fine. If it works out, great, and we can actually implement that and integrate that into the channel, would be cool, but we'll see where it goes. I'll work on that if people are interested. Jeremy Olson, Discord has evolved since the early 2000s. I'm a late adopter to Discord. I think it's quite amazing. I do also worry about where it's headed, given some of the investors into it and some of the negative things that have happened. There's been not a lot, but there's been some big people doing bad things. And it's all but communicated in Discord. So oversight privately in that stuff isn't a bad thing, and I'm not worried about that. I don't know. I want Discord to remain as is, but if you look at the Trump plot, the Kirk plot, a lot of that stuff was coming from Discord. I know that's going to happen online anywhere. That could happen in a video game or a tic-tac-toe chat or whatever, but yeah, I am slightly concerned over Discord's long-term future without huge oversight or moderation. Are the EAMs on in the background during this chat? Yes, I have, unless we've missed any. I'm listening to 11175, which we should hear them here as well, and Aircraft Channel. They should be on here, and then from time to time I scoot through and listen to like 4724, 890-902, 11175. And then I can also see them. You can't see them, what I'm seeing here, but to the left of me is a giant monitor with the server for Warwatch Intel's 24/7 stream running to my left, and I can see all the waterfalls for all those frequencies. And I have not seen or noticed any traffic, including comms checks, radio checks, anything like that come through. It's been very quiet. Some people don't like to hear the Q word this late at night, but yeah, things have been pretty quiet. Again, I think I've had this. Sometimes I tune out what's actually on my screen because I'm talking too much. I've had these tankers showing up for a while. Let me filter out the tankers and show everything else that's up in the sky. We got Dash 95 up in Texas. We've got some C-30Js grouped up over here as well. Some helicopters over here, western Montana. We got Badger 33, C-135. Awesome. Dale Walker, I need to learn how to set up and use my radio. Hey, that's a night we could definitely do here, or help out in Discord. I would love to help people out with radios. Jeremy Olson, I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day. Used it for raids. That's awesome. I used to be a huge World of Warcraft junkie. I had to stop myself from playing. I think it was turning into a problem. It's too good of a game. It's quite old now, but it's still, nothing beats it as far as MMORPGs go. I know I'm going to get some flack for that. It's not the only good one, but I believe it's still the most popular, like 20 years later. Jeff B. Hey, Jeff B. Welcome back. Welcome. Good to see you. Do you see what the Army set up on December 5th? Maybe not. Do remind us. Iggy, human intelligence is my main motive, or the emblem of a Cuban intelligence. They don't have a state-of-the-art gadgets. They have human loyalty development, achieved sleeper agents for the last 30 years. Yeah, all of that is very interesting. I love the human aspect, and I think it's very interesting of what goes on without like electronic intelligence. Human intelligence can be very, as far as like the resource gathering and stuff like that, or spycraft, can be very intricate and interesting. Tim says, Q word. Extremely quiet night. Timothy Clark. John, I just got to the website and got the link to Telegram. This is one thing. This is feedback for myself, and I'm just being open about it. I am awful. Warwatch Intel, on the surface, is very... It's a YouTube channel. It's very... It looks very vanilla. It looks very plain on the surface, but there's a lot going on behind the curtains, right? I do a really poor job at explaining, one, like we discussed tonight, what are we doing here? What are the main motives? What are the like niches? And also, there's so much information happening all the time, and it's being dispersed. Again, I'm really bad at explaining all of this. That's part of tonight's part of making that better. How do I make it better? How can I better help you, help me. Anyways, Warwatch Intel. We have a website in case you didn't know. You can find your merch here. You can find information about certain aircraft units, some of the basics, some of our most recent YouTube shorts and stuff like that. But you can also go on here and find flight maps, our show schedule, which doesn't exist yet. I'm waiting on a better schedule. You can even go in here and listen to prior comms and EAMs and stuff like that. All right here from Warwatch Intel. And then he have links into our Telegram, our TikTok, our X, our YouTube, all that stuff here on the website. So there's just so much going on. It's hard to document it, I guess. I'm open to feedback on how to do that. So thank you so much, John, for reminding me to shout out the website. My wife threatened divorce for real. Was that over World of Warcraft, Hogged? I still play WoW hardcore. That's awesome. I went back a few months ago and I tried out hardcore and I also tried out classic. Oh, there's a Q4 drone popping up down here. Do we have a call sign? Nope, no call sign. There is a Q4 drone. I don't know when it popped up, but I just noticed it after taking a breath. Hogged out 82. I quit playing after Lich King because I love her. That's sweet of you, Hogged. I had to do a similar thing, so we're in that together. That's also when I stopped playing Hogged. I stopped playing around Cataclysm, I think. That came after Lich King, right? It's been a long time. I'm just here for the free cookies. Excellent, Brain. Brain, you bring a lot of information here too. John, I love the site because it's simple. I try not to overcomplicate things. Thank you so much for the feedback. Kenny says, keep it simple. The bad actors use noise to confuse. Great feedback, Kenny. I love that. Thank you. Sky cards. Oh my gosh. I had to be careful with that game. There's a phone game called Sky Cards from the makers of Flight Radar 24, where you can collect aircraft in the sky and use them for challenges and stuff like that. And there's missions to complete. I believe it was Jesse Davin that told me about Sky Cards in chat and got me hooked. I haven't played in a few weeks, but man, that game is a lot of fun, especially for the people here that are aircraft nerds like myself. Tim says, I try to contribute, but don't play. Tim, you throw out some great spots in chat. Thank you so much. Always. Not even just Skycard ones, but you have awesome spots and information all the time. Thank you, Tim. John, I'm excited for the channel and all the mods' hard work. We do have some great mods here, and then we have a great community here. We can do stuff like this tonight where I'm up here for an hour and a half just chatting with all of you and having a great time. I really appreciate everyone that's been here for so long. Again, probably around once a corner, I like to have these feedback session nights where I can openly ask, what can we do better on the channel? So I really appreciate the feedback we've had here tonight. Robert Chester, good morning. Welcome in. Good to see you. We have a C-30J with a call sign Stock 44. And we have a V-22 Osprey. I think that's the Osprey. Let me look here. Yeah, Ugly 21. All right, so we'll wrap this up pretty soon. But for everyone that was here for the radio conversation, I'm sorry, the cell phone based walkie-talkie app, we're going to do some testing for a few days on that. I'll invite some people into it privately, and then once that we want to move forward with that, I will start putting that out more publicly, how to get involved and get some moderators in there and stuff like that. And we'll give it a shot. If it works, great. If it doesn't, that stinks, but at least we gave it a shot. We'll try out the whole walkie-talkie thing. The only thing I've noticed so far is when it's time to go to bed, put yourself on busy mode or disable the channels that you're in. It's easy. You just flick over a button. When we do get that far, I will walk everybody through on how to use it, the basic functions. Obviously, when you're at work or with family or sleeping and stuff like that, or you don't want a walkie-talkie going off, just like a real walkie-talkie where you can turn it off, you don't want to be bothered with a whole bunch of stuff. So that's one thing I always tell our mods, tell the people here, like family first. Take time away from the channel when needed. And again, the walkie-talkie stuff, we don't want it to be intrusive. Just as Discord, just as the channel. We try not to overstep our boundaries, right? We don't want to wake up anybody in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. with banter over the radio. So we're going to figure out how to implement that correctly. And we'll be rolling that out as a test probably here in the next day or so. Tim, count me in. Perfect. Jeremy, oh no, YouTube has been reposting my comments twice. Interesting. Hog says, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Hog. Robert Chester, you can't pull that one on us. Robert says he's new here. Cowgirl, newbie here, but y'all are wonderful. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you can find us for next time. So we show up on your feed. And also, I know if you listen to YouTube stuff or watch YouTube stuff rather all the time, you hear this all the time, but it's really true. If you're subscribed, make sure you go up there and turn on the bell notification icon. So when we do go live, you get that notification just in case it happens to be something like something happening in Venezuela or something big and we go live to you, you do get that notification. You don't want to miss out. Long-term thoughts real quick before I end this. So we're talking about Discord. We're all doing great with Discord. If you use Discord, you probably are part of our Discord. We have almost like over 900 members in there. We're looking at the walkie-talkie app. We are long term. We're looking back into, I know a lot of people have asked about it. We did a poll question earlier on it yesterday. Some way to send out text notifications for people that want them and not being annoyed by it. Like, oh my gosh, critical event is happening. You don't want to miss out. You might not get that notification, or you don't want to rely on Discord, or you don't use Discord. How can we get an alert to you that's actually important? We're looking back into that as well. Again, that's coming down the road. I don't have that as an immediate answer, but again, we will get that to you as well. Christy Hunt became a member of the Recon crew. Hey, welcome in. Welcome to the Recon crew. Great to have you. Thanks for being here. And thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. That greatly helps the channel. Can you post the Discord link? Someone's on it already. Thank you so much. Discord link is in chat. If you haven't joined, that's our Discord link over there. Again, we have 900 people over there. We have a whole bunch of channels and stuff that we discuss over there that we can't hear on YouTube, that's for sure. Well, folks, that was an awesome hour and a half. Thank you, everyone, for being in here. Thank you, mods. Thank you, community. Thank you for all the feedback. Everyone was amazing with the feedback. Thank you for all the questions. And you guys are the best part of Warwatch. Seriously. This is an amazing place we've built here together. And thanks for listening to me ramble tonight. It's been really awesome, and I'm really looking forward to what else we can do here. Again, anytime you want to reach out to me right now, like I said, Discord is the easiest. Reach out to me privately with questions, feedback, ideas, thoughts, whenever. I will get back to you as soon as possible. But for that, I'm going to get out of here. Have a fantastic night. I'm Frost. I'm Warwatch, or this is Warwatch. Sea Swiller, I screwed it up. This is Warwatch. I'm Frost. And I'm out of here. Have a good night, everyone.